What's up guys, Paul Salmon here. So next video here is going to concern how to use your camera. In other words, how to operate the camera app that's on your iPhone. In other words, what do all the button pushes mean and do on the camera app. So when you first pick up the phone, say your camera's locked, and you first pick it up, it's going to come up in that screen there. And again, the quickest way to open the camera is just to swipe from right to left, and it opens up the camera function. So as we're going along and I'm showing you each of the button functions on the iPhone camera, I like for you to follow along. Just take your camera out, your iPhone camera out, and then as I push the buttons and show you the function of each one, you can follow along and do that and see how it works and kind of commit it to memory there. So most people are going to use the camera, they're going to be holding it like this, doing pictures or photos or videos in this, and everybody has a different idea how to hold your phone. There's about 10 different ways you can hold it. Most people are going to hold it like that though. So the viewpoint you're going to have of the screen is going to look like this. So let's talk about what you're looking at on the screen. First thing you want to notice is that when the iPhone, when you open the camera app up, it defaults to the photo function, and it defaults to the 1x, or what's termed the wide lens for doing photography with. So to simply take a photo, you point it at whatever you're looking for and you press the shutter button, and we just took a photo. To preview that photo, you'll notice down here is a little preview window, and if you want to actually look at the photo that you just took, all you have to do is press that little preview window and it brings up the photo that we took. That's a work of art there. And if you want to now return from looking at your photo you just did back to the camera app, then there's a back button right here, this little arrow, and you just touch it and it returns you back to the camera app once again. Okay, so I mentioned it comes up in 1x, or using the 1x lens. There's actually 3 different lenses on the iPhone. There's 0.5. If you bring it up, you're going to notice a much wider viewpoint there. That's the ultra wide angle lens. The 1x lens, which is just considered a wide lens, or sort of the normal functioning lens. And then finally the telephoto lens is the 3x. If you press it, it's going to zoom in quite a bit and really increase the zoom on what you're looking at on the photo there. Okay, and by the way, the screen side here, this is considered the front of the camera, or the front of the phone. And the back side here, these are considered the back lenses, and there's 3 of them. This is the ultra wide lens, this is the 1x lens, and this is the 3x lens here. All right? So now, speaking of that, and then they have a front lens, which is this little bitty pinhole lens here for the purpose of taking selfies. And speaking of selfies, again, if you look at the phone in this format here, this is the little selfie button where you can flip the phone from doing an image using the back cameras or the back lenses to one using the front lenses. So if we touch that, now we're in selfie mode, and we can see here we are in selfie mode. And by the way, most people when they do a selfie, either a photo or a video, they're looking at the wrong place on the camera, right? Most people when they do that, they'll tend to look directly into the screen, and they'll take a selfie of themselves here looking directly into the screen. Where you should actually look is over here into the lens of the camera, and then your selfie, whether video or photo, you'll be looking directly into the lens itself, and it won't look like you're looking off to the side. So if you're doing a selfie, look at the lens, not the middle of the screen. Okay, continuing on now, if you look between the screen and the shutter button, here's a row of different functions for the camera, and again it comes up in the default mode of photo. But just above that you'll see one called portrait. All right? And to go to that mode, all you have to do is touch the word portrait, and it brings you up in portrait mode. And portrait mode is just that. It's useful for taking portraits with, whether that portrait is a person, or of a dog, or a horse, or a cow, or whatever. The portrait keeps the face of the person that you're taking the portrait of in focus and blurs the background. So it gives a kind of a nice stunning effect for doing portraits with. The next function is pano, or panoramic views, and all you have to do is press the word pano, and it takes you into panoramic mode. And we'll look at panoramic mode more in just a bit, but it would be useful for taking, if at a very wide, say a wide landscape that you're trying to take a photo of, you can use panoramic mode, and you can literally come all the way around 180 degrees and capture that and it can be pretty useful for taking images of a wide landscape. So a lot of people don't realize it, but panoramic mode can actually be used vertically as well. So if you're in panoramic mode, you could hold it normally and take a picture horizontally and come all the way around and do a 180-degree exposure in the horizontal plane. It's actually more fun sometimes to do it in the vertical plane. And so if you were standing, say you're at the directly under the center of the St. Louis Arch, you could put the phone in panoramic mode and bring it over here and start your recording, and bring the phone all the way around, nice and slowly, around 180 degrees, and capture an image that would be looking at the bottom of the arch, coming around in 180 degrees. So a lot of times you can get some quite useful photos, quite stunning photos that people haven't seen that sort of image before, using panoramic mode in the vertical plane as well as the horizontal plane. And we'll look more at that in subsequent videos. Okay, continuing on, if we go the other way, we can touch photo and return back to photos, back into photo mode. And below that here, if we touch, says video, and if we touch video, now we're in video mode. It will default on the video mode to a 9:16 format, which, or say it's actually 16:9, 16 wide and 9 high for recording videos. And again, you just touch the shutter button here and your video begins, and when you're ready to terminate the video, you just touch the button again to stop it. All right? We'll get into a lot more settings on videos here in just a bit. And then finally, down with that, we have cinematic mode, which is again, we'll look more at that in depth here in just a bit. Next, followed by slow-mo mode or slow motion mode. You can take a period of time and actually stretch it out to a much longer period of time, and it's a very kind of a fun way to make videos, and makes a very cinematic appearance to videos, and we'll look at it in greater depth as well. And then certainly last but not least is time-lapse, and if you touch that, a time-lapse video is just the opposite of a slow motion video. You're taking a large period of time and compressing it down into a matter of a few seconds to minutes, and it'll be useful for like capturing a sundown if you want to do time lapse of sundown and that sort of thing. Okay, so I hope so far the video has been helpful. We've covered just sort of the basic functions of the iPhone. The next thing that we're going to take up in the next video, I think we'll call it quits on this video and take it up in the next video, is the hidden menu. And most people don't even realize that they have a hidden menu on this phone. If you touch right here, I'll just show it to you. There's a whole bunch of functions there you probably never knew your phone had. So we're going to take that up in the next video. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video continuing on the functions of the iPhone camera.